hard, which is HB compressed charcoal pencil. Two different brands, but they supposed to be very similar. And I also use vine charcoal. Vine charcoal is very easy to erase, so I'm going to start with this for the preliminary marks. And I also have this 2 skewer, and I'm going to use this for measuring the angles. As the first step, I'm going to transfer the top and the bottom over. Try that over here. I'm going to say this, the top, that's the bottom. And transfer that over here. And also, I'm going to use the compressed charcoal. I'm going to measure how high, because we're doing 1 to 1, right? I'm going to put it over here like that. This is the height. And now I just correct it. So this is the same height as the reference, like that. Now we know the location, the height, the top and the bottom, because I rotate the reference upside down, so that this exercise would force us to only looking at the line, the angles, and the shapes. But when we are doing a portrait drawing, sometimes we can want to rotate it so we find the balance. If anything is not balanced, you will be able to see it a little bit better, because it makes you have more objective observation. But not looking at, oh, this is my niece, or this is my daughter. But instead, all to you is the angle of line, the shape, the value, the texture, all those visual elements, which would be very helpful. So let's take a look at from the left and the right. Roughly, we're going to do more measurement. And this is about the left and the right in the middle. So double check, and I'm going to let go any mark that old marks. And I'm going to put it right over here to see where I'm going to put it. So the first thing, you're going to see that the left side and the right side of their location. Now I'm going to put over here, maybe, all right, I'm going to put it over here, the left side and the right side. Now I'm going to be a little bit careful. I don't want to brush the charcoal too hard, because it will be difficult to erase with this kind of gum-based compressed charcoal pencil. Okay, so we got an idea. This would be the location, right? So I'm going to use the vine charcoal, say roughly, to get an idea before we start the measuring. So this would be the nose, the outer area of the nose. This is on the left side, right? So we're going to try to roughly to see where are the location of all those parts, roughly. So we can see that is this angle a little bit more toward this side. We're just going to draw a little bit rough composition, right? But don't draw too hard, okay? Just roughly, like that, roughly. Like that. And then if I don't see the nose, I can see there's an angle, a line, a curved line coming like this. But it's supposed to be this a little bit wider. But anyway, just get a rough sense of what you're drawing. And this probably going this angle. Take a look at how it's crossed over. And then the nose probably over here like that and coming out. Right? If you have any questions, please say it and I can respond to you. Okay? I can multitasking. So on this side, I'm going to do a little bit angle of shape, like about this way. And the ear is from here all the way over here. So the ear is a little bit off over here, like that. And this is the area for the ear. This is roughly, that's how you do it. So this can be the process, the techniques can be used for any portrait drawing. It will be the same thing, and try to find the rough composition. That's just the step one, right? At this step, we're not using any measurements, which is we're going to do next. You may be asked, why you do this? Is this not correct? Well, you want to try to see the composition that if you like it first. If you don't like it, you have to change it, right? If you rush into the proportion measurements and then you realize that, oh no, they're supposed to be a little bit more like half inch to the left, half inch to the right. And what you're going to do? You have to start over, right? So this process is easy to change it. Like say, oh, should I move it a little bit more to the right? A little bit more to the left? That's the decision you have to make. It doesn't matter what we do. Doesn't matter if it's a landscape, portrait, figure, still life. They are all shapes to us, right? So between the positive space and negative space, light shape, dark shape, and they actually compose an abstract impression. And the abstract composition actually connect to our internal feeling. And we're going to move more and more forward toward that end as some of our members and learn better and better and better and better. We're going to go toward into how the drawing and the painting is going to communicate, express our personal feeling. And we're going to get to that point. And when we get to that, and the color, the texture, the light space, the dark space, all those are doing the work for us. So for at this point, like say, we are not the measurement, the perspective, all those are technical point. They're important. If we don't know even how to control the shapes, how to see the size of the shape, how to see the connection between those shapes in the compositions, this is almost like in English, we don't even know how to make a sentence. In that case, how you're gonna create a good expressions to express our feelings in a paragraph? That would become impossible, right? So we have to take care of the shapes, taking care of the perspective. Those things we have to learn that, which is we're gonna learn it in the next couple months. We're probably gonna start working back into the perspective. But in this couple months, let's focus on the proportion. Focus on the drawing basics. Try to get an accurate observation. Is that this side and this side space over here? I know this side space have a little bit less. That space have a little bit more. Is that make you feel okay? If you want to move it to the right hand side, a half inch, you should do it right now. It's easy to change it. Maybe let's change it just for the fun of it. How easy to change it? Let's say I'm going to move a 1/4 inch to the right hand side. Right? I'm going to move it over here. So I'm going to move this a 1/4 inch to the right hand side. And so how easy that can be. Just a 1/4 inch, everything 1/4 inch to the right hand side. And that's it. And also when you do it at this step, it's much easier for you to feel more okay to do it because your investment is a minimum. Is that right? If you do more, you get 2 hours deep into the drawing, most likely. Okay, what are we gonna do next? Next thing is pretty easy. We're gonna draw a little line because we cannot really tell how much is this angle. I'm gonna align it over here and just look at the outside and how much room. So that is good. a little parallel. I'm going to draw a line over here. Now you can see how much room. So I'm going to draw a same angle, same vertical line. Like that. So I can see that over here, I can come in a little bit more toward the inside, right? And also I'm going to draw a couple more, we call reference line. I'm using a 2H graphite pencil for draw this line. Would be a little bit more visible. I'm going to draw this line coming down this way. I think the forehead over here connected to the chin. What's that angle would be, right? So with that, I'm going to take a look at the bottom of the base. I'm going to draw a horizontal line like this. I'm going to draw the top over here, and I'm going to tell you why, and you're going to see why. I'm going to draw this line. Those lines are all either vertical line or horizontal line. Like that. And I'm going to also take a look at between the nose, the tip of the nose, and the left side of the base. What does that relate to? I'm going to draw this as a vertical line like that. So I can see that the nose over here, the bottom over here, a little bit more toward the left side when I'm sitting here like this. So that's good. Actually, this rectangular shape, actually we call it also the big envelope. Like the envelope is contain the letter. Okay, I'm going to draw a little bit longer to finish the whole envelope over here. So that is just very easy to measure. And over here, I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it as just 4 plus 1 measure like that. I'm going to use a B pencil, a little bit too hard. I'm going to take this. I'm coming over from the outside over here, and I'm going to, from this line coming over, and that's the line like that. And so this line is all the way over there, from here to all the way to the other side. And now I can see the nose come out a little bit too much, right? That's good. Like that. Right? And then we see that this is an envelope. That's the base. But when we are doing a portrait painting or still life, a landscape, that's not necessary to do this kind of box. But for this kind of exercise, they will be helpful for this process. Okay, that means this will be too much outside. And we're going to take a look. And the bottom over here, this angle is supposed to be like this. Look at the angular shape. This angle, right? This will be the angular shape. And lift this much away from the vertical guideline. Like that. And then the bottom over here, this line is coming down, was in this case coming up because I have it upside down. And then let's take a look, where's the middle, with the touching point. The touching point is right over here. The touching point is about this much away from this side of the vertical line. So this side of the vertical line, the touching point is right over here. So like that. And then gradually turning outside over here. Right, that's good. Through this kind of exercise, you're gonna find a lots of way to measure, especially when you do a portrait from life, for example, or a figure drawing. You can very easily finding the relationship between the angle or the turning, and you can find out the proportion much faster. So now from here to here, we can see the outside shape is the angle like that. So it's more like coming this way. So we can find that location. And the other thing we need to find out is the tip of the nose right over here. And whether or not this is the middle from the top and the bottom of the envelope. I'm kind of like a curious, so I'm going to find out whether or not it's right in the middle. So I'm going to draw a little line over here. I'm going to put over here. Oh my God, do you guys see that? Exactly the midpoint. So next time you're going to see, oh, how I'm going to find it easily. Okay, this is easy. Because I'm drawing 1-to-1, so even easier. So now I'm going to put it right here. And this is the touching point of the nose. And I'm going to double check whether or not this side is correct. Yeah, this is correct. Maybe a little bit off over here. Now, this is the nose. Now I can see on this side, I can see the angle of this. You see the angle of this. And I can find also the same angle of here. Now we're going to talk more about the angular measurement. Now I'm having two skewer, so I can have it a little bit easier. Now I'm going to align parallel to the other one. So as you go. Now you can draw this angular line extended a little bit more. That's just fine. So this is the nose. And the nose a little bit curved over here and coming in. So take a look at the angle like this. And this the angle coming, that's just the nose. But for you, is everything, it's just the shape, the angle. Right now it's the line. Now I'm gonna gradually, we're gonna fine tune it and get it correct. Now let's take a look. We already drew a line, the angle of this line like this, coming through from the forehead all the way to the chin, right? So I think there's still a good reference line. In this case, I'm gonna put over here. Let's take a look. And that looks like a pretty much similar, or maybe even the same. Like that. Right? The space over here and the space over there. And I'm going to have it like that. Let's take a look. I think this come in a little bit more. This angle is not exactly correct because that skewer is not really straight. So I'm going to have it redraw that line one more time like that. I think that's correct. So that will become very easy. From here, from the top over here, I can slowly making turn and then connect to this straight line. And then we're going to find out where is this turning. We're going to looking for this negative shape like that because we're having the envelope already drew, so that is make it very easy to see the negative shape. And let's take one more look. And the angle over here, you can see the triangle over here that you can see the positive space and negative space. Now I see the triangle, little curved line over here like that. Right? That's good. Now from here and gradually turning like this, then we're going to see that within this shape, let's take a look like that. Gradually turning over, looking for that shape. We're going to double check. Everything we do, we need to double check. You talk about the forehead over here and the chin. What do you mean? Yeah, I'm using the forehead too. But right now, I'm not just looking at the forehead. At the beginning, we're always looking at the bigger connection. This is the example about biggest connection between the forehead and the chin, how these two things relate to each other, right? Because looking at the forehead, there will be the next step. It's not at this step. We have to looking at the bigger comparison, the bigger connection. And then from here to here, from here to here, we're going to look at the bigger shape. This is one of the issues that some of our members have currently. They are too easy to looking at the smaller areas, just get trapped into the small area. They cannot get out. And in that case, you can doing this little piece of things make it look really, really good. But however, the whole proportion in the bigger scale is just not correct. So we have to focus on the bigger connection before we get into the smaller. And this is also the reason that we're looking at compare the forehead to all the way down over here. So now we have this correct from this, because finding the outside shape, the negative shape, we can find out this angle. But whether or not this is in the right turn, in the right area, we're still going to double check. So we just do it in one linear direction, and then we come to a cross checking. Okay. So we find a nose over here. This is very important. And because the line over here, and I can see that there's a 1/4 inch from there. What do you call this? The upper lip area of the mouth. So we're gonna have it turning a little bit like this, about a 1/4 inch. And then this, we don't know exactly vertically where is it. So we're gonna stop here. We're gonna going into the vertical point, how we're gonna find the vertical. Okay, so I'm gonna find it over here from the bottom over here. This is very important to use the find that creator envelope. And actually envelope is very helpful in this kind of basic practice. Okay, now let's continue. Next, we're gonna come in here. I'm gonna use the graphite pencil. It's easier to see. From here to the nose, we already know the nose is correct because it's halfway between the top and the bottom of the envelope. So I'm gonna see the chin. First, we're gonna see this first. This part. Okay, when it's get into start turning. And this one. And let's transfer that over here first. And from here, coming over here like that. And that actually, that would become this angle. Like that. But whether or not, how much this away from that vertical line is almost like here. I'm gonna put it. I know kind of like pretty boring, this kind of drawing, but actually we train you to following the process and also train you to observe better. Okay, this, it will be the inside and coming in over here. So we find this point, okay, like that. So now we also, because we already know here, in the previous step, we can draw a straight line with the same angle as the shadow over here. I'm going to draw that straight line. I'm going to double check whether or not that is the correct angle. That's what I'm looking for. So it looks like it could be like this. You see it, right? Okay. So I'm going to draw this line all the way over here, like that. So I can let go of those lines. And we know the inside is here. And the top, now I'm going to draw this a little triangle and coming in over here. Now connect to the outside here. And maybe should come in a little bit more and coming here like that. And then the chin over here. I'm not sure that is correct. I'm going to double check with the vertical. Okay, from here to the bottom of the chin over here is about this much. So I'm going to put it over here, and then the chin is over here, this much. Like that. So that means, actually based on that, we're going to come back with this. It need to come up a little bit more because we're looking at the negative shape. It's about 1/4 inch. Like that. So obviously this come up a little bit more. Now we really need to double check whether or not that is correct. The actually is not really, probably not really correct. Coming over here from this line, coming here, that's correct. That is the negative shape. Okay, any questions so far? Like that. And coming out and straight. That is angular. So that means it looks like this is, see that there is a shape over here. That's it. Well, kind of like when I'm looking at one area, taking care of something convenient. But what we try to look for is a vertical proportion. Like I say, from here, right? We find out there was the chin, and also we already know the nose is right over here. But the next thing we're gonna find out is where is the midpoint from here to here. I can find out could be in the negative shape of the mouth. So we're gonna take a look at that. It's a vertical. So I'm gonna let go of the pencil mark. I'm gonna coming over here to here, like I say, this angle. I'm not sure. I'm gonna find over here, say this is the reference point. I'm gonna have it here, the reference point over here, coming to the nose over here, the tip of the nose, and take a look at what's the middle. Oh, interesting. That's the middle is right under the upper lip, right? In that case, from here to here, now we can find the midpoint is right in here. So that means I just catch, and also this point is very close to this line. So we already have that line as the reference line. So I'm going to have it like this, come up a little bit, and here you go. And also looking for the distance between this line and the outside over here. And this is called light side drawing. Okay, like this. And we find that, and then we're gonna have a little bit coming in a little bit angle like this, and then align with this guideline, and then like that. That's pretty good. Now we're finding the outline gradually. Now when we come back to here, this side it looks much easier, but we're gonna find out how much is the space. We already know this angle is correct. So I'm gonna find it from here to here, right? Where's the space from here to here? And that's where's the space right over here. So maybe one more time. Oh, that's just right. I already make the turn over here. So this turn probably a little bit smoother like that. And then coming up over here and follow this line. Okay, I think the negative shape over here needs to come down a little bit. Just look at it. look a little bit carefully. So the forehead can be a little bit shorter. So like sometimes it's like a little bit hair difference. And it's actually different. Right now, we're not looking at too much of the details. Okay? It's just looking at the whole shape coming over here. We're not looking at all those smaller shape over here. Okay, this is good. On this side, the outline, we already got it, right? Through the measuring, the angular comparative measurement, we get that. That's good. That's one. Now, we already know the width of the envelope is already correct, proportional. We move forward, right? Now, we're going to take a look. And there is an angle. Here is about a little bit more than a quarter. So I'm going to moving over like this. And this is, you take a look at the angle. And this kind of exercise is very good for us to master the angular measurement and the comparative measurement. And a little bit coming in. Now you keep looking at the negative shape, the outside of the main object, right? Like that. And now coming here on this side and gradually continue toward the line. And now coming over here, continue. And a little bit straight like that, and then gradually merge into the guideline. Like that. Now let's do a little cleaning on this side. The measurements is very, very crucial and important. Always start from big before going to smaller. Otherwise, your whole drawing, it would be, most likely won't be correct, because unless you're lucky. But we are not doing that because of luck. We're doing that, we want to find a workable system, the process, the method that ensure us every single time we get it correct, right? It's very important. Okay, that's good. Now we find this and this side, but we haven't be sure to know from here to this point how much. Now this point, now I put over here, here you go. Now it looks like you need to come up a little bit more. Now I'm going to come up a little bit. Now from here to here, there's another point over here, coming here, right? So we can this point, we can divide it into vertical line. So I'm going to put this to this point. So now I'm going to connect this angle. Now correct. Now a little bit smoother on this side. And that's good. I'm going to clean that up. Okay. Now we're going to be finding out the bottom of the ear, because this is very important. So I'm going to start from the bottom of the envelope over here, coming all the way to the outside corner, right? The outside line. I'm going to find that out. That's very easy from here to here. So this coming in here, that's the ear. It's only a 1/4 inch, make a turn. So also going to find out the width from the outside line. Oh, that's good. We're going to find this. This is the line. I'm going to here coming in like that. Oh, that was correct. We're going to we use the outside of the envelope line as a reference. So that's good. So I'm going to draw this would be the shape. It looks like this come down a little bit because this portion is a little bit longer than this portion. We get that? Like that. That's good. Okay, now we're going to find out what's the top of the ear. Well, this is easy. We're always going to relate to something that's absolutely correct. Which one is absolutely correct? Either the top of the envelope or the bottom of the envelope. Now let's do that, try that to the top of the envelope. So I'm gonna put a line over here. Now here you go. So this is the top of the ear. Okay, like that. Is that pretty easy? So also from here, we can draw the line coming up like this. From this angle like this. And let's take a look at, there's a shape. The bottom over here, just looking for the white shape. Like that. And just try to capture this white shape. Here you go. Like that. So we have the little skinny white shape over here. And then, here you go. That's is not quite right. So take a look at, I think this ear rope over here is not so big. We'll come back a little bit. If you're going to use the compressed charcoal or the other type of charcoal, you try to sharpen it, really fine point, so easier to draw this kind of exercise. Okay, like that. Now we're looking for smaller, but before looking smaller, we're gonna looking at the bigger shape, like that. And there's a bigger shape, like that. That's good. So this is actually a little bit darker. It's going to be. Okay, now we're gonna looking for the bigger shape. Now we're looking for this triangle. See that? From here, all the way coming here. That means across to the ear, this is the angle, looking for that. And that looks like connect to the forehead over here. And come out a little bit more, like that. They're actually good. I'll also go in and double check with the angle. I'm gonna put this over here. I'm making sure it is correct. Right? Looking at compare. Oh, the angle is pretty good, right? Nobody say anything. And now I'm gonna draw an angular line like this. Okay. Okay, now after I draw this line, I have the reference. Now it looks like this to become out a little bit more because this is closer to this line. You see that? We just find another reference line like that. Here you go. Now this is closer. You see that the distance between these two and much closer. That's good. Get that. There's always like a double check, a cross check. Like that. And from here, that's just very easy. Now coming over here, and now draw this line over here. You can draw all the way coming a line over here first. And then from here, you can divide it in like almost like, let's take a look. From here to here. Oh, interesting. From the ear over here to here, it goes from here to here. Right? If we find it from here to here, we divide in the middle. That's the middle. So always a way to draw it. Now we find this point. They're coming here. Now we draw a little bit smaller line. Now, we also can draw inside a shape over here. Do you see this shape? Like that. We can actually draw this shape. Or we can draw this shape over here and then draw the shape like that. Either way. And we already know this point. So from here to here is pretty close. So I'm going to draw the shape like this. Here you go. Now we're looking at the negative shape. You see that the light shape over here. Need to come up a little bit like that. Now you see this angle. Like that. And then, here you go. Now we're coming up like this. So you can see this over. Organize that, the whole shape over here. Oh, I like the sound. Okay, now coming over here and make a little turn. Now I'm gonna come out a little bit. Now I can find the details, shape in here. Now, that's good. From here, now I can cross over like that. You can see this crossover. So you can see it may become in a little bit more toward the left side because I'm looking at this shape, the width of this shape, right? Like this. And now coming all the way down here. So this also has a little bit kind of triangle shape. Right, there's a triangle shape like that. Wow, we're almost getting everything. Okay, the neck over here. Now slowly, now we come back to the bottom over here. From here, we can draw a line over. From this point, we can draw a line over like this. Connect to the bottom here. Based on this line, I can say, oh, this come up a little bit from here and come down a little bit and then come up a little bit and then come down a little bit. So it makes some variations. But first, it's going to make it generalize, the whole shape generalize it first before you're going into make it specific. Okay, now we find the bottom line over here, this line. Are you following me? Or you are a little slow, a little bit faster? Okay, now I'm going to draw this angle. From here, extend it. I can find this line. And also this area, and having a shape, a very soft shape coming over here. And now also can divide this, like almost across into this line. We have a reference point over here. So kind of like this angle, right? And another angle. We find that. Well, we're almost there. Now the details. From here, we can find this shape. Right? Find this shape. From this shape to this shape, we have a shape over here. See this shape, right? Find that shape. From this shape to this shape, the middle is almost like here. Right? That's a shape in the middle. So always find the shape and relate to the shape, find the smaller shape. Okay, like that. Okay, when you draw alone, can slow down. Okay, make sure. And then over here, I can draw a one line over here, cross over. You see that? There's a one line over here, cross over, like this. And there's the smaller line over there. Okay, that's good. And a little shape over here, a little shape over here. And that is the shape coming over here. So also you can draw the big shape and then use eraser to create the small light shape in between. Okay, that's easy. Okay. Now all the big area, we already get it. Now we're gonna coming over here to divide into a smaller shape. Now I'm gonna coming in a little bit over here, and then now I have a smaller shape coming in over here, and then coming out like that. And across also cross-checking. From here to here is with this angle coming to the turning point over here. So this, it looks like, should come down a little bit more. And like that. That's good. And I'm going to take a look at this angle and this angle, that's good. And come down a little bit. And I also want to check from the nose over here and straight over, there is a little turning. From here straight over, that little turning, that's right. So actually here should be come down a little bit. And also comparing the shape, the space over here, compare the space over there. But this is very much right, very much correct. Okay, now what the next thing we're going to do, we're going to start shading into the big shape. Like over here, we're going to do this. Putting the bigger area value first. Shade it a little bit, and this side, you can use the horizontal line. Shade it over here first. You come in a little bit, this shape, like that. Okay, coming in over here, and now I can follow the contour of the outside line like that. Shade it a little bit, and this actually a little bit darker. This whole shape over here, and I can have this shape it a little bit. This is roughly I filling in the shape, but it is not finished shape. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to define the outline. I'm going to coming over here, make it a little bit softer. If something you need to remove it, and so it have less ambiguous and less confusing. Okay. Now I'm going to make it a little bit softer. Now let's take a look here. I'm going to follow over here. Follow the angle. Compare it. An inch by inch. Like that. There you go. And if you can, stay a little bit longer. I want to hear feedback because we are kind of testing the process. And I want to hear you what is the better format we can try for our member live demo. Okay, a little bit softer over here. Okay, now I'm going to come here, the bottom. Look and draw a portion at a time. Okay, that's good. Like that. A little bit turn. A little bit turn. That's good. Now coming here. Now we can draw slowly and then make sure the outline we can have it more correct than what we did before. Now little smaller turn you can pay attention to now because this is very important. Draw based on observation. Turn a little bit and then take a look at the detail. And I think it's to turn a little bit quicker. I think that I can erase that. I think it can be continue a little bit further and a little turn like that. That's good. And then coming here a little bit straight and then turning and then make a little bit angle turn and then come back and straight, slowly turn, and then gradually turn over here. It's not really just a straight line. A little slowly turning like this. Okay, slowly turning. Almost finished the outline. Here you go. Like that. Now I know it's almost the end of the demo time. I'm gonna turn it around. So I'm gonna take a look. Wow, it looks very much there. Now I'm gonna coming over here. I'm gonna clean up a little bit like that. Now coming in a little bit on this side. And then this probably coming in a little bit more. So having it upside down, it actually helps you to recognize the shape without much of emotional connection, because that will make you more objective. So this is the work in progress of this, and I'm going to make it look finished. Okay, let's take the drawing from here and finish it. Okay. So first, fill in the bigger shape, and then we go inside to modify it to create smaller shape based on the big shape. That's good. And also do a little bit cross contour, so make it a little bit more even. Now under here it has a smaller shape, also a little bit darker. Okay, now come to the base. Okay, take a look here. This shape can fine tune a little bit. That's good. Now coming in a little bit, this shape, this light shape a little bit in. That's good. Now look at bottom. There's a smaller shape. Now the shape can looking at as a smaller and smaller as getting further and further in the development. Looking for the bigger shape before looking for the smaller shape. Now like over here, and looking for this from the top over here, from the top of the ear, maybe a little bit lower than the top of the ear, like that. And coming up, here you go, there's a shape. if you can see the connection between the dark shape and the light shape. Also, you can say the positive space, negative space, negative space. Usually, we call the dark space is called positive space. The light space is negative space. Okay. So when you see this would be a bigger shape. So you need to compare this, the whole shape over here, instead of looking at the smaller. And this shape is a half of this shape, but you need to deduct the inside the narrow dark space first before you divide this and between halfway down over here. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now we're gonna calling for this shape. Okay, I'm gonna have my little eraser. I'm gonna clean up a little bit. Okay, that's good. Now for the charcoal drawing, I also like to use the blending stone. Okay, on the edge over here, I'm gonna have a little bit softer. It is much better organized now. Okay, now coming to the ear over here, I can see a very light tongue shape. Okay, I'm gonna use nitty eraser. I'll do a little bit more cleanup. I'm gonna, like over here, can be a little bit softer. Looking for the transition. Now coming back a little bit. That means having the line shape a little bit more. This a little bit sharper. So I'm gonna have this contrast a little bit more. And this side, I can have it a little bit softer transition on the edge over here. Now clean up the outside right here. Okay, now come to the top here. Now what I need to do, to use the nitty eraser, draw the smaller shape. It's that much easier. I'm going to add some smaller skinny line. This shape also coming in between this. Also clean up the small white shape in here. Sometimes if you try to clean it up and actually also remove the neighbor shape, but it's okay. Let's just remove it and come back to define the shape. Now come up over here. I want to help to define the smaller shape a little bit better. In this exercise, also important to see the different edges. Some are a little sharper, some a little bit softer. Some might even not be able to see clearly as a lost edges. So for example, this is the edges, it's very soft edge. Okay. Like the edge over here is much sharper. So I'm gonna make it a little bit clear. That's a little sharper edge. This a little bit softer. So make it a little bit more smoother in the connection. And there's a reflection underneath over here. So I'm gonna lift up a little reflection underneath the chin. And come to the outside over here to erase and make it a little cleaner. That's good. Now remove the line. Remove the skyline. Okay, now this Bargue study is already finished. That's how I use compressed charcoal pencils to finish this long study. We're going to do more of this kind of study in next week.